All right, shalom. This is gonna be real quick. First, I said all praise to Yahweh by Shema Shai, by Shema Kakadash, give honors to the elders and apostles of the well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. This is just prophecy update, what's going on in the news. You know, we live in during the time of the Lord's vengeance. And the precepts say, what shall, hold on, I'm gonna get it, be the end of those who obey not the gospel. And that's what you see going on. People getting shot. It's multiple shootings that happen in Illinois. I only seen one article thus far of a person dying, but that's the judgment of the Lord, man. You know, these are taps to get Jacob in order before it's too late. So, give me a second. This is First Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. Right, those of us that know the truth, the Lord is judging us. You know, because the Lord not with his men or people that's declaring that they standing for him and teaching the nation of Israel lying. He's not with none of that. He's not with the false philosophies and doctrines. So though all those who say they got the truth, they're being checked and judged first. And those who lying and make the merchandise of Israel are eventually going to be destroyed if the Lord hasn't killed them already. It says, and if it first be at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Shema Shot, killed by this gunfire, and even worse with deaths. The ultimate death is going to be a nuclear missile. Some people are starving to death. Some people are homeless right now and suffering all types of hell. But they're in judgment. If the Lord doesn't accept them, it will be death. You know, so that's why Jacob getting their ass shot. But I'm going to play on this video. Then I'm going to add some more precepts.
Police in Harvey are investigating two shootings, including one at a house party, leaving 7 people shot, among them a 4-year-old boy. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Banning.
And I'm Timon Bradley. Thanks for joining us. WGN's Andrea Medina joins us live from Harvey City Hall. Andrea.
Hi, Timon and Jackie. Police say one shooting occurred last night and the other early this morning, and both incidents are connected. Investigators are now working to determine the circumstances that led to the gunfire.
The scene was chaotic, you know, a lot of police, a lot of ambulances, a lot of people laying down in the ground.
What started as a house party on this residential block near 145th and Desplaines Streets in Harvey turned into a deadly crime scene Saturday night. By Sunday morning, the aftermath was still visible. Evidence markers scattered on the ground, police tape tossed into a trash can, lawn chairs, and a child's bike were left untouched on the grass, silent reminders of the violent night.
It was a shame to have to see something like that, especially over here, because we don't have nothing happening over here. Yeah. You know, I lived over here for a minute, nothing happens over here, but it was a sad moment for this community here.
Neighbor Terrence Simpkins says he watched the incident unfold through footage on his Ring camera, then stepped outside to find a chaotic scene. According to Harvey police, gunfire broke out at around 8 p.m. on Saturday during a house party. 2 individuals are believed to have opened fire on the crowd, injuring 5 party guests, including a 4-year-old boy. Police say they were transported to area hospitals and are expected to be okay. A family member who asked to remain anonymous says that a person inside the home legally carrying a firearm returned fire, killing one of the alleged shooters and wounding the other.
That's the best part about, you know, exercising your rights, you know what I'm saying? Having FOIA cards and being able to protect your home. So they protected their home.
The surviving suspect was taken into custody. Although police initially considered Saturday night's shooting an isolated incident, they're now looking into another shooting that happened just before 5 this morning in the 200 block of Calumet Boulevard. It is believed to be a possible act of retaliation. There, a man was found dead inside a minivan. A woman who lives near the scene asked to remain anonymous, but says she was jolted awake by the sound of gunshots and is still shaken by what she saw outside her window.
We just heard it sounded like someone's hitting garbage cans. I heard at least about 40, 38, 30, I don't know, a lot around.
While an arrest has been made in connection with Saturday night's shooting, police are still searching for suspects involved in this morning's incident. We are live in Harvey. Andrea Medina, WGN News.
We believe there's something about.
All right, so I put that with me. All right, this second Ezra chapter 16, verse 19. Behold, famine and plague. The plague is death. All the death going on out here is a plague, no matter how you die. Tribulation and anguish. That's why Jake and them acting out the way they acting out. Let me look up this word tribulation. Tribulation, a cause of great trouble or suffering. The shootout was great trouble and suffering unto these people. See the black woman, she what do you call it? Hysterical, no self control. If she knew the scriptures, she probably wouldn't even been in that situation. And would have held more self control because what's coming to this place is way worse than what's going on. Way worse. Movies like The Road, The Book of Eli, The Purge, every last one of them, amongst other movies that depict the end of societies is coming. So if she acting like that over this little shooting of 30, 40 shots, 8 people being hit, how's she gonna act when it's millions of rounds being let off? Thousands of people dying, you know? She gonna go crazy. Pass from heart attacks, extreme terror, extreme fear, you know? Women are gonna be spoils in those days, you know? Alright, it said tribulation in a general sense, and this is the AI overview. Tribulation refers to a state of great trouble or suffering. It often implies a period of intense hardship, affliction, or oppression. It says Greek word. The Greek word for tribulation is thlipsis, meaning a pressing together, pressure. It can be translated as oppression, affliction, distress, trouble, or straits, position of difficulty. So Jacob been going through all types of tribulations. Hold on, bear with me. This is a non-stop thing in Illinois, but just as well as around the world, man. That's a sign that we at the end. And Jacob, they see the signs, but since the Lord doesn't deal with them, they will not get right. I had to double check that Greek word for tribulation. Ellipsis. I might be saying it wrong, but I looked it up on the Blue Letter Bible. Took it from Romans, which these two precepts run hand in hand. Romans chapter 2, what is this, verse 9, if I'm not mistaken? Just a second. Yeah, Romans chapter 2, verse 9. Before I bring it in, let me get the definition. Well, no, I'm going to read it first. Lock it. Tribulation, this is Romans 2 and 9. Tribulation and anguish, just like I said in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, which states, let me read it again. Behold, famine and plague, 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish, just like it says in Romans, are sent as scourges for amendment, right? And this is for the Israelites. This is back at Romans chapter 2, verse 9. Tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentiles. And the Gentiles is talking about the people of our nation that took after the customs and philosophies of the heathen. The word came to the Jews, which represents Judah, first. That's who the Lord went to first. Then the rest of the tribes. Then he went to the rest of the tribes. Basically. But this is the same thing that's going on now today as it was going on back then. This is the word Gentile, Helen, Helen. Strong's G 1672. Helen, Helen, Helen. Helen, Grecian. Give me a second. It says, in a wider sense, the name embraces all nations, not Jews, that made the language, customs, and learning of the Greeks their own. The primary reference is to a difference of religion and worship. Right. Nations meaning other Israelite tribes that took on the customs of the heathen. Our people knew they were Jews um, back in the ancient world. Some did, you know. But this was speaking in context of the Israelites because the word was only given to the Israelites, not no other nation. So let me look up this word, anguish. And I'm going to be looking it up from this Romans chapter 2, verse 9, because it means the same thing. Strong's G 4730, Sennacherib. 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 anguish, calamity, distress. Metaphor, a dire calamity, extreme affliction, right? Being shot is an example of extreme affliction. You already know all the hell that comes with being shot in them hospitals. Second Ezra 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right? I'm looking up this word scourges. This is for the Israelites, man, so that they will turn from their wickedness. So that means all this hell that's coming upon these people from these gunshot wounds, mental anguish behind the stress and the situation, and then not having the money. All these things is coming from the Lord, so that Jake can return to Him. A scourge, a whip used as an instrument of punishment. So these events are being used metaphorically as whips of punishment unto Jake. A scourge caused great suffering to. The Lord is causing great suffering to Jacob, a personal thing that causes great trouble or suffering. Right. Tribulation, plague, famine causes great suffering unto people, man. Excuse me. The word amendment, a minor change or addition designed to improve a text, piece of legislation, etc. Yeah, so the Lord send these things upon you so that you will change your ways, man. I'm gonna jump. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 33. The virgin shall mourn having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn having no husband. This is for you women. You see how she was all hysterical and shit? Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. And I mean, these are things that's yet to come when all hell really breaks loose. You women aren't going to have any men to protect you, no men to help you. Your husbands won't be there. Verse 34, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. So yeah, they're gonna implement a draft, and these niggas gonna get sent over there to the Middle East, or they're gonna go to jail. Some of these guys are gonna go voluntarily, but you're gonna be left here in America since they don't know the times that we're living in. And the truth, I mean, the truth. Basically, they're gonna willingly go and be forced to go, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Right, your men, the men. The Lord is getting at you, women, because there's more women out here than men. And the ones that you do have husbands, uh, husbands are gonna die, and you're gonna be left here to fend off for yourself, and this strong and independent woman. Because if he's not in a war, he's gonna be locked up somewhere or dead from starvation, or these scourges is gonna get him. But you most definitely, you women, see, I'm looking at this black woman right here, like this Latina right here. You women are gonna be left here to fend for yourself during the time of the purge. I'm just use that as an example of when all hell breaks loose. A good movie that I keep popping in my head. I forgot the movie. I'm gonna look it up, but it's with Batista in it. That was a good movie too. When all hell broke loose, and it shows how fast they had to move. Let's see. Hold on, bear with me. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Batista, the wrestler. That's what I'm speaking of. Movies, I think it was called Bushwick. Let me see. Yeah, the movie was called Bushwick. Let me see. All right, it says the overview for Bushwick. When Lucy steps off the subway, she walks into an utter bloodbath on the streets of Brooklyn, Bushwick new neighborhood. Texas is attempting to succeed from the Union, and as you can see, that's what's going on out today. Uh, a lot of states wanted to succeed from America. It was in the news. Y'all had to look that information up. Um, and militia forces have descended upon New York City to claim it as an East Coast base of operations and negotiation tool. Right? Um, the scriptures do say men shall be afraid in these days. The city shall be blocked off by who? Militias or the military or quarantine. You know, Lucy takes shelter in Stupp's basement. A blurry war veteran who reluctantly agrees to help her traverse the treacherous 5 block stretch to reach her destination. Right, so this was kind of a good movie on how all what it's gonna look like when all hell break loose. So the movie is Bushwick. Just a small example. All right, I'm gonna go and continue this. Second Ezra 16 and 35. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Right, see the prophets get the mysteries. The Lord is dealing with the prophets to help the prophets escape these days. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. And that's what's going to happen. And that's what is happening. Jake and them turn into their gods, to their idols during all this tribulation. But their idols won't save them. That's why the black women over the last couple years have been turning to witchcraft. I was on Instagram and this one Latina broad, I so happened to click on her little image thing, and I wasn't expecting this because she boxed and everything. Uh, I wasn't expecting her to do it, but shit, you never know with these women. She said she went and got her first reading, like a week or so ago, turning to witchcraft. I think she said she did 3 of them. She never did them before, and she went and got her first reading, and she suggests women go get their reading. Fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. That's why you bitches are dying, and y'all need to die. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Right? As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains can pass her womb. And you women understand what it's like to have those pains, labor pains, what they call them contractions before the baby come, and they don't slack and they be painful. Y'all know exactly what that's like. That's how America is going out. Which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. That's why all this hell going. That's why Trump, look, you women thought y'all was going to escape. Trump start cutting y'all jobs off. Even all this death that was going on, a lot of you bitches start staying in the house, stop going out. There's even videos women saying, I'm gonna stop going out because of all this death, can't go out and have fun. Now he taking y'all jobs. Now what y'all gonna do? I ain't got no other choice but to go out. And a lot of that's why our bitches start jumping on OnlyFans and things like that. You know? That's why they naked on Instagram. Because now you bitches gotta get kicking the gear. But that's not gonna help you because the death total is going up. There's more evils going on. Better times coming. You know? I just watched a news clipping sometime earlier last week where it stated hundreds of Negro women, they said specifically Negro women, have lost their jobs, are not in the job market like how they used to. We don't know what's going on with them. Some created businesses, but me knowing the times that we're in, shit, the ones that tried to create a business, their business is gonna fail or ain't prospering or not gonna work at all. So yeah. But it says, 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. The world shall mourn. The world is mourning. The world is going through this, not just America. And sorrows shall come upon it on every side. Right? All these wars going on, all these protests. The Gazans are starving. Look, Palestinian, I said Gazans, right? Same thing. Palestinian American scholar Rashid, what did he say? What are you talking about? If anything, he's talking about the starvation and all the death going on over there. Look what's going on in Haiti. Haiti. Brutal gang war. The U.S. sent troops down there. This guy right here, he works for the government. He already threw up his signs. You have to see, you have to be paying attention. He already threw up his affiliate signs with the Masonic order up under the branch, the U.S. government. He already did that. And now the Haitians are being, which is the Levites, according to the Bible, are being sent back over there to Haiti to suffer. Then you got, look, racial tensions going on. Cop who kills sleeping black man smiles after attack. Attacking. Right. So he's smiling. That's the racial tensions. Alright, I don't want to click on none of these by accident. But yeah, so yeah, it's going down. It says, 2nd Ezra 16 and 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, the Israelites, the blacks, Native Americans, it doesn't matter what color you are, the elect, this is who the Lord is talking about. Make you ready to thy battle, right? It's a war. This is war. Spiritual war, physical war every now and again, more so finna be way physical. And those evils in these bad times, be even as pilgrims, be ready to pick up and move. If you got to jump from one state from persecution or jump to another state because you can't get a job or all too much hell going on, you're going to have to do it. Plagues, you're going to have to do it. You have to move, know how to walk. That's why the apostle is putting the videos up of him walking 4 miles in an hour. And that's good because and he'd been doing it for quite some time, Apostle Gabar. I had to go like I was starting at like 3.5 miles an hour and had to eventually get up to 4 miles and a little over 4, but it took a little minute, because I'd be having health issues also, you know. But he went from doing it Um, I think he said once a week to a couple times a week now. Then every day he just said in a recent video, that's what you got to do. You have to do those things. I not to boast or nothing, but I've did marathons. Actually think that I beat the world record because I looked it up. I know I fucking beat it. I had to look it up, make sure I do some in-depth study, make sure that wasn't the only record. But shit, I've walked from Kenosha, Wisconsin to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and that's a marathon is, if I'm not mistaken, 25 miles. From Kenosha, Wisconsin to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, depending on which route you take, is 26 miles. So I've walked, and I had to do that going there and back, a couple times a week. There's some routes it might be 21 miles, but walking there and back is 50 plus miles, and I did that like 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and I was doing it for my health and because I had to get to the destination I had to get to, Sometimes I took a drink before I went, you know. But I started, but it's a 10-hour walk. It's a 10-hour walk. I will start 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, so I won't be, in people's faces when I do it. Um, that was just what I had going on during them times. Now I don't mind doing it anywhere, but I don't like people knowing the trails and following my patterns and things like that. No way. That's why I start at them hours. Walking in the dark and things like that. I had the Lord put the spirit on me to have to do that, make myself do that because I wanted to get healthy, I wanted to get back in shape and things like that. Uh, but yeah, that's a good way to do it. You're gonna need to. These walks might be further. Dad then was known for them walks, So if we was known for those walks and having that type of spirit to begin with, Esau has took all our history, all our understanding of our history and how we used to be from us, or making it to where Jake them too comfortable to even do these things. That's why everybody is obese. That was an agenda from the hormones and things in the food being polluted, the air being polluted. That was an agenda to keep you from being that strong soldier, that man, having that man spirit, you know. So you got to get back into that. Even I got to get back into it. I still be in the gym, but that's my goal. That is my goal. My goal is to go farther beyond that. My next walk. I'm trying to pick a day to do it. Will be from Chicago to Kenosha. Now that's 53 to 57 miles, a 24-hour uh, walk. I'm trying to do it in 20 to 18, which means that's why I turned up my gym workouts. I used to be in the gym back when, shit, 10 hours a day, you know. That's when I was, I had the time to do those and work a job. So if you big brothers working businesses and shit, why not? You got to get prepared for what's to come. You don't know what your lot gonna be, but you're gonna need all your energy, you're gonna need all your strength. Because in these movies, they showing everybody involved in combat. Just thinking of it like the Dawn of the Dead, and we the only ones that's woke, technically. They gotta fight off these dead motherfuckers. The Lord gonna be with us in those days, but you don't know how this stuff gonna play out. So get ready. You have to be the extended example of rulership. King David killed tens of thousands. Saul killed thousands. Expert in war. You have to know these type of things, and to be of war. When you study the Marines, the soldiers and things like that, the things that they have to go through, the fitness tests, they naturally normally run 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles as a test to be approved to even go in the army, man. So if that's a normal standard, what you doing, Jake? Get up. Women too, get up. Sitting around not doing nothing. Can't even walk a mile without getting tired. And some people can't even walk a mile. Get up, brothers and sisters, children. Shit. But yeah, man, just pray and fast on it. The Lord will open it up to you. When you pray and you fast, it eventually opens up. Especially when you see that you keep missing the days that you want to get active. So, yeah, this second Ezra chapter 16, it says, and 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth, so be ready to move. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. Right? If you selling merchandise, you gotta flee from your merchandise. He that buyeth as one that will lose. Right? You buying items, such things for your household, you're gonna lose those items. People are gonna be running into people's houses. He that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it. Right? And he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap. So also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. Right. So don't seek to get comfortable here. And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods. Home invasions. If the whole city is in an uproar, it's going to be multiple, thousands upon thousands of people running into your house or trying to run into your house now. Overthrow their houses and take their children as captives. Motherfuckers are going to be kidnapping your kids. You know, we have to get our minds and our bodies and our spirits ready for this, because we're going to be here while it's happening. Those who the Lord want to be here. You're going to be hearing people get kidnapped, screaming at the top of their lungs, like the little boy in Milwaukee. That just happened like 2 weeks ago. They got the boy screaming for his father. Women gonna be getting done like that. Men gonna be done like that. Children gonna be done like that. The scriptures say children right here, but those are the things that's gonna be happening. There's other precepts that state women getting raped, and people being held for ransom. 2 Ezra 15. Man, look, you gotta open your mind up. You gotta watch the media. You gotta study these wars and conflicts and things that happen when society breaks down. It says, overthrow their houses and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine like a fool, shall they get children. They're gonna be eating your kids. They was doing this. The Latin tribes in Brazil were doing this, man. And the one in Brazil is Argentina, but they kept a lot of that stuff that was going on in the media, because they was putting a lot of it in the media. Then they took it out. They made sure it went on a hush, because the money system was collapsing. They was eating rotten meat. That's why they wanted to come to America. They was going through extreme hell, and that's what's coming to America. People was getting eaten over there. It says, verse 47, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons. Right? The more you study, got this spirit building in this place. You just bought you another house. You got you another Christmas tree. You put some trees in the back. You just bought you some farmland as an attachment to your house. You got you a swimming pool. You built you a deck, bought another car. You got these new chains, these new watches, new clothing. That's what it means by the more they deck their cities, even the cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons. Everything I just explained. The more will I be angry with them for their sins, said the Lord. Right? Because they getting comfortable in this society. They building themselves up in society and not looking to be delivered from the Lord, man. It's okay to buy nice things and what you want and things like that, but your first priority is the Lord. And Jake's first priority is the lust of the flesh. That's why the Lord is angry with them. So with that being said, man, call all your Yahweh by Shem Al Shai, by Shem Kakadash. Give honors to the elders and the apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.